Okay, let's try this again. Our battery flat as before. Pretty classic. But anyway, man, you just grab this shit, right? It's bentonite, a little bit of ground up tile, and some graphite. Probably grind up pencil. You know, for graphite, that'd work. You don't need much of the graphite too. It's only like friggin' maybe a quarter of a teaspoon, but it's just enough to make the nozzle slick. When the flame passes through it, it's going to push past, but it's going to have a lot of heat. And the graphite resists the heat and lets it flow. A bit like water. Water and stuff like that flows in the same sort of way as fire. Starting with these little 10mm motors, just because they're easier to load, quite a bit quicker. And they're about it. So far I haven't had one blow. Note, steel drill bit, 10mm motor. The bigger ones, brass. Use brass ram rods, aluminium ram rods, stuff like that. Don't be shy to hit it either. Hitting it is good. Check the bottom of that. Make sure that your little mandrel is sticking through the bottom. Take that, give it a tap. Knocks all the loose stuff out. Checky checky. Tend to use these sort of cards mainly because they're cheaper. And when you're done with them, you just throw them away, and there's something nice to look at on the way through. Yeah. Classic, huh? Anyways, little mold scoop, very important. Never load more in there than the width of the inside diameter of the casing. Found that if you load too much in, it doesn't ram down hard enough. Damn things might go boom. Or that, or you get real sporadic burn. They'll like boost hard and stutter. Sometimes putting your little rocket and stuff sideways. I know you're not supposed to use metal on metal, but these little motors, never mind. Hey, just smack them. Give it a good old whack down. Now this one should just about top it up. Got a bit of loose powder. Close, eh? Right, back in she goes. So there's 3 little loads in there. 100 grams. It's about 4 gram fuel. Take that real carefully, like. Dip the stuff in your little scrap pile. You usually end up with a little scrap pile. Now, you see in there that a bit of the powder gets forced up and around the sides. Take one of those, just give it a tweak. If you don't do that, that flame will travel up the side of that and you'll end up with no delay time. And there, this is just pulverine delay. It's basically a core mix with a little bit of sugar. Now, she'll be fine. She was used with that. She, not so good. She go back in over there with the bentonite and the mixture, the nozzle mixture. Now, still nice and powdery. I could show you a burn video later, maybe. We'll see. See how this one goes. Take that, real gentle like. That should be plenty. That there will burn the amount that's in there. I think it was 15mm on the measuring stick. So that should give me about 3 seconds delay, there or thereabouts. Note to self, try and make sure you keep all the powder inside the motor casing. And I got some out of it before, that kind of thing happens. Right, that's that there. Give that a little bit of a tweak. Yeah. More bentonite clay. Straight bentonite, nothing else in it. It's only white. Could get grey. Calcium bentonite, sodium bentonite. Doesn't really make that much difference. Now, just to be sure, we're going to get a good burn through. Put a little bit of that in. Standard mix, 75, 15 and 10. Take your old little bit of bentonite, add that to the top. And that's probably more than enough. She goes back in there. Now, this little thing. Offset hole. 3.5mm drill bit. Ta-da! You take that, just give it a little bit of a jiggle, and it should sink all the way to the bottom. Now, this is called a pass fire. Lots of guys don't really worry about this bit too much. They just drill it in later, that sort of thing. But unfortunately for them, just make sure that when the fire comes through, it's got something that'll jam up that nozzle when a little explosion happens to release the chute. And ye old faithful, she's been a very faithful little flame. I've had it for, golly, must be 2 years now. It's had just about an uncountable amount of flights. The mixture in there, same as what we use for thrust, will be just fine. Okay, we'll put the old metal one there, out with the wooden one, give that a bit of a push, take it over to the rubbish pile. Grab the old little bit of bung, Motor done. Okay, I suppose the other thing I didn't do before, alright, was take the motor out of the mould. So, take that off, take that clamp off, screwed to the base plate. When you hit something down inside of something else, like the casing with the fuel, which you sometimes end up happening, is that there will lift off. Will start to lift up because the pressure comes down on top of it. A bit like how that one's got wrinkles. Because that mould there is too big and too old. It's probably not, needs rebuilding. So we unscrew those. Pop that out of there. Nice. Give it a twist. 2, 3, and it should just slip off. Ta-da! Sweet.